So a couple weeks ago, I did the Lansdale West Side video. Today we're going to do the East Side. I'm heading up towards 4th Street Pool right now because I thought I'd show you that first. And then we're going to go through, I'm going to show you some of the new townhouses that were built, although at this point they're almost 10 years old. We still call them the new ones because relative to everything else, they're pretty new. I'm going to show you some of the newer ones, and then I'm going to take you over and across Broad and into kind of the old section of the East Side where some of the more traditional houses are. So bear with me, check it out. Hope you enjoyed as much as you guys enjoyed the West Side video. Talk to you soon. So no video on the East Side would be complete without 4th Street Pool, which is what I'm going to show you first before we go checking out some of the houses, because if you're thinking about moving over to Lansdale's East Side, this is one of the main attractions. So you can see behind me here, got one of the pools. There's another one off to the side, and a big Olympic-sized one that you can't really see from where I am at the gate. But one of the cool things about 4th Street Pool is it's not just a pool, it's also a park and a playground for kids. One of the really special things they put in a couple years ago, and they just finished it recently, is the skate park. So I'm going to show you that real quick. You can see right there, I'm not going to get too close because they're all having a good time, and I don't want to mess that up. But the skate park, coupled with a playground, makes this a very family-friendly place here in Lansdale. There's the playground back there. 4th Street Pool is one of the most popular places in the summertime. Today it's kind of a grimy, old, ugly day, so there's not a lot of people here. And I think they actually closed the pool for the day, as a matter of fact, because of the storms we just had recently. Normally, this place would be packed. So I'm going to take you now, I'm going to show you some of the new developments, some of the new houses. We call them the new ones, even though they're almost 10 years old, but relative to everything else here on the East Side, they're new. Let's check that out. Even though these aren't necessarily new, it's still referred to as the new development. So I'm going to show you here over my shoulder, give you an idea. These are luxury townhouses right at the start of the East Side here in Williamston. And these are typically, right now in 2020, these are trading for anywhere from $325 to $350 on the high side. Generally about 2,500 to 3,000 square feet. Beautiful inside, really well done. But if you're looking for more of a luxury style living, this is where you're going to be on the East Side, and it literally backs right up to 4th Street Pool. So you're within walking distance of less than a block to get to the pool area. So a really pretty area here. We're going to go from here, we're going to check out some of the avenues, and then we're going to go down to the tree streets. So very similar to the westward, on the East Side, the closer you get to Main Street, the more quote-unquote city living style you have. So what I mean by that is 2nd Street and now 3rd Street, we're on East 3rd right now. 2nd Street and 3rd Street are made up mostly of cluster homes, row homes, duplexes, triplexes. You don't have a lot of twins in here, and you have very, very few singles. So it's closer to city living, so it's a little bit more economical. These houses are going in the early hundreds to the high 100,000s. Very few cross over 200,000. I'm going to show you that block here in the background as you see me walking through here. So the nice thing with the East Side, similar to the West, is you can get in here in the early streets, 2nd and 3rd. 2nd doesn't really have very many houses. There's more garage rentals over there. But here on 3rd and even into 4th, you can get in here at a very low price and move your way up and head out towards 5th, 6th, and 7th, where you start getting into more of the residential. And as you cross over 7th and go higher, then you're in all singles. But you can see in the background here, this neighborhood here on East 3rd is mostly made up of rows and cluster houses. So a nice area to get into, economical. You have a little bit of land in the front, a little bit of grass, and you've got alley parking in the back. Let's head on over to 4th and I'll show you Welcome to East 4th Street. So hopefully you can see over my shoulder okay. The sun is really very strong right now, even though it's almost 6 o'clock at night. So East 4th and several of the numbered streets up until you get to about 6th, the first couple blocks off of Broad Street are typically going to be, just like you see in the background here, row house style. And then as we cross over Chestnut, we go a little bit further up, what you're going to start to find are the houses transform into some of the larger twins, some duplexes, and the occasional large single sprinkled in. The last 4 houses that sold in this area and really along this block, the highest was $225,000, the lowest was $175,000. So you can get in here in the upper hundreds to low 200s, get a beautiful home with a little bit of grass in the front, as you can see here in the background, alley parking out the back. Nice quiet area, and you're right off of Broad Street, which is from here only about 3 blocks down to Main. So I'm going to show you over my shoulder so you can see. And again, much like the West Side video I did, the homes here were built in the early 1900s, so they're about 100, 110 years old. It's a quirky area here on the East Side. You've got some unique attributes that you don't have on the West Side at all. For example, in the middle of the block, over, the next street over, is a deli pizza parlor. Out of nowhere, just right there in the middle of all the houses is a deli and a pizza parlor. So you can walk over, pick up your food, walk back home. You're only a couple blocks off of Broad Street, so you're very close to businesses. You're very close to, there's a Rita's Water Ice up there. There's a bank, a gas station. There's a Wawa not that far from here. And for you Starbucks fans, about 4 blocks up, there's a Starbucks. We are on East 5th, and this is probably one of the most unique streets on the entire east side. I'm gonna show you why. So we're only 2 blocks off of Broad Street, right up there where that brick building is. Right behind me here is 4 relatively new townhouses. They were put together. Now one of these just recently sold for just about $365,000, which is interesting because the rest of the houses in the area, the surrounding area, the highest comp sale around here was $225,000, and the majority of houses are truly selling under $200,000 in this year. It's year 2020, depending on when you watch this video. So it's an interesting little mix right there. That particular quad right there draws almost $400,000, while the rest of the neighborhood around it draws right around $200,000. Now, 5th Street is also unique for a couple of other reasons, not the least of which being that there's apartments right here behind me, and while we cross the street over here, and we have our typical twins, what we don't have, there's no more row homes on 5th. So 2nd, 3rd, and part of 4th have row homes. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th don't have row homes. What they do have are ranchers and singles. So as we start getting up in numbers, we start getting closer to single family homes, and there are some twins up ahead in the next block, but there's something else that I want to show you that's pretty unique here on 5th. Sorry, I'm keeping my eye on one of those cicada killer bees because they're huge and don't want to get stung by one of those. Now, the other really cool thing about 5th Street is this, right behind me. There's a deli right in the middle of the block. Giulianos Deli is here. It's a great deli. If you've never had a chance to get some of this, come to the east side, go grab some coffee and some ice cream in here. It is a great place to go. It's a fantastic place, especially in the spring and summer when the nights start getting a little bit warmer. So as we're coming up here, a little bit higher on 5th, I'm going to show you over the shoulder here. We're getting more towards the twins and duplexes. There is the very occasional triplex and a couple of singles, but not many. Now when we head over to 6th and 7th, that's where you start getting into more of the residential. But 5th Street is just totally unique. It's a street among itself. So let's check out 6th. The sun's finally gone in, and we're here on East 6th Street. So one of the things that you'll notice that's unique here as you look over my shoulder in the background here, there's no row houses here on 6th. Now the nice thing is, 6th is very, very quiet. Even though we are, again, just a couple blocks off of Broad Street, we're far enough off of Main that we're not going to hear a lot of traffic overflow. The majority of the houses here are going to be twins with the occasional single built in. And it looks like some of the singles here were done over again in the last 40 or 50 years. Most of the houses on this street have been built in the early 1900s to 1925. So we're about 100 years old for the houses, but they've been lovingly cared for, rebuilt inside and out, lots of space. They're averaging right now in the year 2020, they're going for the upper 200,000s. The last home that sold on East 6 went for $279,000. So this is going to be a little bit higher price, a little bit higher end, but you get more space, you get a little bit of yard, and you get a little bit more peace and quiet. So we're going to finish up the video here. I'm going to spin around and show you guys some more of the houses here. There's one of the singles and the rest of the block up there. So it would be almost impossible for me to show you all of the east side in one single video, so I'll have a follow-up video coming later. But one of the things you'll notice here on the east side, things are a little bit tighter here. The communities are a little bit tighter, and it doesn't matter really whether you're a part of the new townhouses, which again aren't really new, but to us they are, or you're a part of the community, the neighborhoods that have been established for a long time, the row houses, and even the twins. Everything's very tight. The people here are a tight-knit group, so it's a really special vibe you have here on the east side. And probably one of the biggest benefits is it's not super expensive to get into over here. You can afford to get in. It's low 200s to mid 200s in most areas. The new townhouses in the low 3s to mid 3s here in 2020. So very reasonable prices for the housing out here on the east side. All right, we're here in the Tree Streets on East Lansdale. So if you're familiar with Beverly Hills, they have an area called the Bird Streets, and that's where the major multi-million dollar homes are. Well, these are the Tree Streets, and they're nothing like that. However, this is a beautiful neighborhood, and it's made up of rows, twins, and singles. So right now we're on Poplar. I'm going to show you a couple of the houses here. If you look over my shoulder, you can see some of the rows back on that side, and then some of the twins. And one of the cool things on Poplar is as you come up the street, you've got rows, then you've got twins, and then you've got singles right up here at the end of the street. Now, the Tree Streets, birch and poplar and pine, oak, beechwood, locust. There's even one up the street called Squirrel that actually runs along the top of all of them. I don't know if they did that on purpose, but it's kind of funny. In any event, we're going to walk up here to the corner of Poplar and Edgemont. I'm going to show you around a little bit. The houses up here are quiet. The neighborhood itself is set way back on the Upper East Side. It's a great area because you've got a little bit of everything. Like I said, you've got some, look over the shoulder here, you've got some beautiful singles, which are in the $300,000 to $400,000 range here in 2020. You've got some of the twins, and then you've got some rows along some of their Tree Streets that go anywhere from, on the low side, 150,000. On the high side, I think the highest one right now went for around 260, 265. So the beautiful thing with this neighborhood is you can get into the area for less than $300,000 in most cases if you're okay with not having a single. If you're looking for a single family home, there are plenty of them here that are in that 300 plus range. But for people who are just starting out, for younger families, or for people who are looking for their first home, this is a great area to start your life in because the houses are well kept, the neighborhood is quiet, it's really convenient to just about everything. You're backing right up almost to Main Street, Valley Forge Road. Right at the top, there's a Starbucks no more than about 2.5 blocks away. So big props for that. Now I'm going to show you Pine Street in just a second, and then we're going to go up to Elm. So Pine Street over here is just about all twins. You can see that right there over my shoulder. And Pine backs up on the far side, right down here. If you go right down that road, you'll run into Squirrel Lane. Like I said, it runs along top of the Tree Streets. And that's where Oak Elementary School is. So we are literally right around the corner from the elementary school. Now, as we come up here, we're gonna pass over Birch, and we're gonna head up to Elm, and I'm gonna show you something cool on Elm. All right, we're here on Elm Avenue, and one of the cool things on Elm, if you look over my left shoulder, you can see here, over my shoulder there, you have all twins up and down the row. Now if you go over the right shoulder, let me take you back up the street, it's all single bungalow style homes, really cute little houses that some people have built on. There's one here they've actually built on another layer up top. So this particular road is really cute with having, the two sides that are pretty independent of each other. We're gonna head back down over to Poplar now because it's starting to get windy. I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear the video, but I'll tell you more about the east side in just a second. So as we head down Poplar here, it's actually where my car is. I'll tell you, the east side is a beautiful place to move. It's a great place to start your life. The homes here are just a little bit smaller than on the west side, but again, for someone who's just getting into their first home purchase, this is a beautiful place to start. If you want some more information, if you're looking to make a move into Lansdale and you're just starting out, or even if you're looking for something to invest into for a rental property, the east side is a great place to go. Give us a call for more information. We love dealing with Lansdale. We love to bring people here. This is not only just where we work, it's where we live, it's where we play. Have a good one. Thanks for watching, everybody.